Welcome back to Car Alerts, the place where we break down the most exciting rides on the road today, and if you've got a thing for speed, precision, and top-down driving bliss, you're in for a treat. Because today, we're diving deep into the 2025 Porsche 718 Boxster. The legend of the mid-engine roadster continues, and for 2025, it gets sharpened in all the right places without losing any of the essence that's made it a favorite among driving purists. From its seductive curves to its razor-sharp dynamics, this car speaks the language of performance fluently, but there's a lot more under the skin than just good looks and high-revving thrills. So buckle up and let's take an in-depth look at what the 2025 718 Boxster brings to the table. As you walk up to the 2025 Boxster, the first impression hits hard. This car doesn't whisper sports car, it announces it. The front end is slightly refined compared to previous years, with a lower and wider stance that seems to hug the ground before it even moves. The LED headlights are still signature Porsche, but they've been reworked with sleeker internal elements and a slightly more angular cut to the lens housing, giving the car a more intense, focused expression. Integrated daytime running lights wrap subtly around the housing, and down below, the enlarged front air intakes hint at the car's performance intent, aggressively pulling in air to feed the turbocharged power plant and cool the brakes during spirited driving. The front splitter has also been tweaked to improve both downforce and aerodynamics, providing real function behind that form. Slide your eyes along the side profile, and the 718 Boxster continues to seduce. The car's silhouette remains classic, low, wide, and mid-engined, which means that perfect balance is baked right in. You get pronounced front fenders that taper beautifully into the doors, and just behind them, those signature side air intakes are sculpted even more sharply, carved almost like gills to feed that hungry mid-mounted engine. The proportions are pure Porsche, with short overhangs and a wheelbase that puts the driver dead center of the action. The standard 19-inch alloy wheels come with a new design for 2025, although 20s are optional, and they fill the wheel arches to perfection. Even the side mirrors are aerodynamic, with a subtle winglet design to help reduce drag and wind noise. The soft top still retracts in about 9 seconds at speeds up to 31 miles per hour, letting you go from coupe to convertible almost instantly, and for 2025, Porsche has upgraded the soft top fabric to reduce road noise even further. Move around to the rear, and the 718 Boxster shows off perhaps its most distinctive perspective. The taillights are now slimmer and more aggressively contoured, utilizing Porsche's latest 3D lighting signature that gives the rear a futuristic glow, especially at night. A single LED strip now runs across the rear fascia, connecting the taillights and giving the car a wider visual stance. The rear diffuser has been reworked for better airflow, and the twin exhaust outlets, either centered or split depending on trim, emit a growl that's unmistakably Porsche. That mid-engine layout means there's no traditional trunk in the back, but instead, a compact cargo space that's complemented by a second storage area up front, making the Boxster surprisingly practical for weekend trips or quick getaways. Even the rear spoiler, which deploys at higher speeds, has been reshaped for a bit more stability without compromising the clean lines of the car. Interior: once you drop into the cabin, the Boxster wraps around you like a tailored suit. Porsche hasn't gone radical with interior changes for 2025, but the updates it has made are thoughtful and enhance the overall experience. The driving position remains pitch perfect, with a low seat height, impeccable ergonomics, and outstanding visibility. The steering wheel, inspired by the 911 GT3, now comes with a more tactile grip, along with updated multifunction buttons that control everything from media to drive modes. The instrument cluster features a partially digital layout, combining classic analog dials with a high-resolution center screen that shows performance data, navigation, and real-time driving stats. Porsche's updated 10.9-inch touchscreen infotainment system sits seamlessly in the center stack, offering wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and native navigation that's both fast and intuitive. Materials throughout the cabin feel expensive. Real aluminum, high-grade leather, and optional Racetex microfiber line the cabin, and for those opting for the GTS or higher trims, contrast stitching and unique trim finishes like brushed aluminum or carbon fiber really elevate the feel. Seat options range from the standard sport seats to more heavily bolstered adaptive sport seats that hug you through tight corners without being punishing on long drives. Porsche has also revised the climate controls slightly, streamlining the physical buttons and relocating some functions to the touchscreen, but it's still a mostly tactile environment, a rarity in an era of screen-heavy cabins. Ambient lighting, optional Bose or Burmester sound systems, and even subtle tweaks to sound insulation all come together to make this an intimate, driver-focused space. Performance, of course, the heart of the Boxster is in the drive, and 2025 keeps the formula alive with some subtle refinements. The base model continues with the 2.0-liter turbocharged flat-4 engine, producing 300 horsepower and 280 lb-ft of torque. Step up to the 718 Boxster S, and you're greeted with a 2.5-liter turbo flat-4 pushing out 350 horsepower and 309 lb-ft, but it's the GTS 4.0 trim that steals the show. It packs a naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat-6, revving to 7,800 RPM and delivering 394 horsepower and 309 lb-ft of torque, or up to 317 with the PDK dual-clutch transmission. It's a throwback to Porsche's naturally aspirated roots, and it sounds phenomenal doing it. Whether you choose the slick-shifting 6-speed manual or the razor-fast 7-speed PDK, the Boxster delivers performance that's addictive and usable. 0 to 60 miles per hour comes in as little as 4.3 seconds in the GTS model, while the base car still manages a respectable 4.9 seconds. But it's not about numbers, it's about feel. The mid-engine layout gives the Boxster surgical precision in the corners, with lightning-fast turn-in, balanced handling, and a chassis that communicates everything back to the driver. Porsche Active Suspension Management, PASM, is standard on higher trims and optional on the base, offering a range of damper settings for comfort or aggression. There's also an available sport exhaust that deepens the tone at the touch of a button, and the optional Sport Chrono package adds launch control and additional drive modes, sharpening the throttle and shift logic for maximum attack. Pricing for the 2025 Porsche 718 Boxster reflects its premium engineering and brand prestige. The base model starts around $71,000, while the S trim climbs to just over $83,000. The GTS 4.0 pushes into the $100,000 range before options, and as any Porsche fan knows, it's easy to add $10,000 to $20,000 in extras depending on how you spec the car. From custom paint to upgraded wheels, ceramic brakes, premium interior materials, and even bespoke design details through Porsche's exclusive manufacturer program, the 718 Boxster can be as understated or as customized as your wallet allows. While it's not cheap, it's one of the few sports cars that still delivers a genuine, visceral driving experience in a world of increasingly digital machines. So what's the verdict on the 2025 Porsche 718 Boxster? It's still the gold standard for open-top, two-seater sports cars. Porsche hasn't messed with the magic. Instead, they've refined, tweaked, and sharpened a car that already sat near the top of its class. The mid-engine layout offers perfect balance, the steering remains some of the best in the business, and with the available flat-6, you've got a soundtrack that's pure automotive symphony. Sure, the Turbo 4 in the base and S trims lacks some of the character of the naturally aspirated 6, but it still delivers strong performance, and for many buyers, it will be more than enough. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 2025 Porsche 718 Boxster here on Car Alerts. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below letting us know what car you want to see next. Whether you're a longtime Porsche fan or just stepping into the world of performance roadsters, the 718 Boxster continues to be a benchmark in its class. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your foot on the throttle.